Fellow traders, 'tis I, the Rumpled One, coming to you on Wednesday, April the 22nd. The year's 2026. Let's talk trading. Emotional damage recovery with Walmal. These videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine and from Walmal's. And to minimize your emotional damage recovery, make sure you have your risk management in place so you don't lose more than you're willing to lose while you are trading. Walmart, what a morning, huh?
Yes, it was exciting.
And
That's trading.
yeah,
Trading's always exciting.
and we asked the question, how do they know? And what happens is traders we'll have a TP set and price will get within like one or 2 points of it and reverse. So instead of being out, you get stuck. Or price will flash by your average entry price for about a second maybe, and there's like no way you can hit the button quick enough to get out of that trade with a profit. And once again, you wind up being stuck. And and we got stuck a few times.
Yeah.
I pulled up a 1 minute chart with the 3 level ZZ, and I think it was right around here. I got stuck the first time, and then right here, it didn't give me or was this the one where we get? Yeah, it didn't give me enough opportunity to get out with this 3 ball. So then it took us all the way down, and then finally, after averaging in a few more times, got out right here on this 1 ball. And I haven't taken a trade since then in Walmart. How long did it take you to recover?
53 minutes. But that's that's part of trading. It's just what it is. Sometimes the market just goes against you. And the funny thing is, I'm gonna state why this particular set of trades actually made it even more difficult for me is because if you remember, Giro, right before I entered the trade, I actually went and said only an idiot would go long here. And what did I do? I went long, and I went long because I had my, it followed. It made sense to go and do it. I met all the rules to go into the trade were met, but that doesn't mean that you normally or you should just go in that direction
Well,
because what
well,
happened was
we'll stop for a minute, Walmall. Explain to the traders out there, the boys and girls and non-binary traders, why you made that statement. I just pulled up an M30 chart.
yeah, yeah, because we had four, you know, uh, you know, we just had four M30 candle colors that were red, in a row. It's like, man, what is wrong with you? What did you do? Now, in my defense, when I did go long, the M30, the current M30 was green, but the three prior to it were all red. And it's like, man, what are you doing? You know? It's sort of like it didn't bottom out yet. The M5 EMA, the EMA M5 was on a 45-degree slope down. I mean, it's like everything in the world says screams at you, go short or do nothing, sit on your hands because you think that maybe it's starting to either out. It was not time to go long yet. Wait for that EMA to start to go flat and bleed. Wait for an M30 to at least cover the previous M30. Those are kind of things that you look at the chart. Now, they're not part of my rule set, but at the same time, it's just observational things that you should be doing. You don't necessarily even need to have a rule to know to go and do that. And that's what got me into trouble is the fact that I didn't go and adhere to that. I just went and I just went and said, hey, I got a flip flop. Hey, look at this. I got a death cross to the upside. Hey, look at this. I'm above the EMA 5. Hey, let's go hog. Hey, let's get slammed in the face.
Well, something though, Walmart, on that is kind of interesting because you said it's not part of your rule set, but it's like you should be looking at it. So you might want to
Yeah,
distinguish between the two.
yeah. Well, the thing is, what the reason why it's not part of my rules that's not to trade there is because a lot of times I will take the trade there, and I'm looking only to get a pip. That's all I'm trying to do is get a pip,
Right.
and that's it. And that's why it's not a rule not to trade there. Well, guess what? I had the pip, and then it went. And in fact, let me tell you how many pips I had before it went slammed against me. I actually had 3.8 pips I could have picked up, minus commission. But the thing is, and I should have got, if I was going to go and do that, get out to 3.8, and the part of the reason was because when it got to the 3.8, it actually went and covered the previous M30, and then I should have known that, hey, more times than not, when it covers the previous M30, a lot of times it's going to take what I like to call take a breath and slam all the way back down again, and slam it did.
Yeah, because like you were saying, when you look at in history in hindsight, you look at all these 45-degree um, indicator two dots, the EMA 5, and you can see it's like it only had one close above, and it's just like in every one of those you would have had your fingers burnt
Yep, exactly.
because
So
yeah,
and that
yeah.
go go ahead.
I was gonna say because that would have been an M5 death cross here, and then the second one when you had it, you could have gotten out right there on those two, and then down here on the third one, death cross. That's when it really would have paid off.
Right. Yep. But that's just the way it is sometimes, and but just thinking about this, why did it take 53 minutes for me to recover that? Why did it take 53 minutes before I got in? Because if you remember, we got out of the trade, and you had made the statement, we've been out of the trade now for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and we had an opportunity to get into another trade. And it's like, I'm thinking to myself at the time, and I may have even said something, it's like, well, maybe you're ready to get back into a trade, but I certainly am not ready to get back into a trade. And I like to go and think of things in terms of, you just need to go and recover from, I got out of trade with a lot of pips. I really did, So from a positive standpoint, I made a bunch of money on it. But man, it was rough hoeing there for a while, and it drains you. It drains your brain power. It drains you from your psychological standpoint. And I just needed time. And now the thing is, people sometimes go and like to say, okay, I've been out of the trade now for 15 minutes, out of the trade for a half hour, out of the trade for an hour. Okay, I can get back into the trade. I'm going to go and lay something out, and I think we need to talk about this more, Hero, because I just thought of this now. It's really not an element of time, okay? That between getting out of a mess like that and the next time you get in a trade, it's not okay. After 15 minutes, I can jump back in. No, I think there's some things that we need to go and build, maybe a checklist of some things that we need to go and put in place and say, am I ready to trade? As opposed to, okay, 15 minutes have passed by. And some of the things, I'm thinking about it, some of the things that you need to go and start thinking about, do I have a desire to fix what I just went through? In other words, is the reason I'm going to take this next trade because I'm trying to go and look for any opportunity that's out there to go and make some more pips. So if I had broken even to actually make some pips, or is it no? I'm neutral on all this. I'm not thinking that way, Or do I need to go and make sure that I'm positioning myself correctly on lot size? Do I need to go and start thinking about, how frustrated am I? Am I still, I don't want to say angry, but upset about what I just went through? Is it causing me hesitation? Or is it causing me to go the other direction and just quickly snapping into a trade? These are all different things that we need to go and look at. And one of the things that, this is something that, from playing sports with is this thing called a detachment test. In other words, am I detached from what just happened? In other words, if you're on the football field, something happens where this is regular American football or soccer football, something just happened in front of me, and I'm so angry, and I'm on the field now, and I'm still attached to the previous play. Well, a good coach, what he does is he pulls that guy out because he knows that guy is he's still attached to the previous play, and he's not ready to go and get himself back into the game. While in trading, I'd say the same thing. Are we detached from what just happened, or are we now focused in to go to the next play in the game? And so I think there's a lot of steps that we can go and start looking at, seeing, okay, how do we go and get ourselves ready, and recognizing that we're ready for the game. That's what this is. It's a game.
Yeah. I definitely agree with that. But what I'm also wondering is, it's a type of thing. Sometimes it's like, um, not in trading so much, but sometimes in life, you really don't have that luxury to, take 15 minutes or an hour to recover. It's like, you know what, if you don't do something right now, somebody may die, or something you might have. So it's like, um,
Right.
it's like I guess the thing is, usually in those emergency type situations, you've been training, like if you're a fireman or a policeman or something, and your training takes over. But as traders,
Yes.
I don't know if there's something that we could do where our training would take over, because we let our emotions get involved because money's involved, and it's like you're pissed off, um, because you've been through this downside. It's like, dang it, how come? It's like, darn it, I missed my TP by 0.2, sons of, and then it's like, and then it does it again. And then usually what happens is, you get out by the skin of your teeth, with maybe a pip or two profit, and then all of a sudden, boom, it runs up another 20 some pips, because I had called out, I saw an M30 return bar, um, right here at 21, and we were down here, and I was saying, you know what, number one, this thing needs to get to, let's see, where was it on the chart? First I said it needed to get to about 10, because let me see if I can find it. um I don't know if I see it on this exactly, but it's something that I've been noticing, where if it puts in a range, a small range, it'll go to the one extreme and then go to the other. And I think it might have been, no, it wasn't that one. I can't find it on this chart right now. Or maybe, no, maybe it was on M1 I was looking. Yeah.
Well, going back to what
Yeah, right here. It's
find it?
Yeah, it's right here where it went down here, and then it came up here, so you can see it broke this level here, and then I'm saying it has to almost break this level again. And I'm looking at those things, and then I also knew it had to get back to that 21, but it just took so long. And as I've said many times, if I'd only waited an hour, wouldn't have had to go through all that emotional damage. And the thing is, if you remember in the movie 9.5 Weeks, Mickey Rourke was sitting there looking at his screen, totally detached. He could have been up a million or down a million, but he was just so calm, cool, and collected. And that's pretty much what we have to strive for. But yeah, Walmal, you're right. We're gonna have to do part two, maybe even part three, on this emotional damage recovery, because the fastest 15 minutes in trading is just about over. So, fellow traders, one other thing, Crestlick.com is back up. So I'm gonna be putting some posting videos. I'll post the motherload over there so you guys can go out and download it. So, traders, emotional damage recovery. That's all part of, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. This is the Rumpled One, over and out.